This section actually has another important, it seems like a small section, but a planned feature effective date. So ours is pretty broad, I would say, in our document. It depends upon the plan document and the type of prototype that you're using. But I guess, what do we use that for? Let's give some examples.
So we typically use it kind of like a timeline or a storybook of things, important features that the plan may have had. So if the plan was a safe harbor plan in 22 and 23, and then 24, they decided not to be a safe harbor plan, we would put those effective dates. Or if they were a safe harbor non-elective and they transitioned to a safe harbor match, to where if the plan ever gets looked at, if I get hit by a bus and somebody's picking up the plan document, they know the history of the plan.
And we typically, even if we're restating a plan 1/1/24 and there's an effective date of 2002, a lot of times we're going to leave that effective date in there. You're right. It's a storybook. It's a paper trail. It's not going to make any difference on how the plan is operating in 2024, but it would make a difference if something was questioned. So one of those provisions, and there's a lot of times, just like, let's just put that out there, there's a lot of times that we as TPAs and practitioners are going to put something in the document that, for lack of better words, is a moot point.
Right.
But it's more of documentation, because without the document, you just don't know.
Right. And then another thing that we like to tell people is when we're drafting the document, we're drafting it within the guides of the IRS, but also to allow plan sponsors flexibility in terms of, the plan sponsor may be adamant that they never want to do a match.
Right.
But we're going to put that the option is there if they ever decide it, just in terms of flexibility.
Yes, agreed. So that's that. So we're, that I would say that's definitely more of a practitioner thing than what our plan sponsors have to worry about. But one thing that the next section of compensation, and I tell people this all the time, I say you can make this as easy as you want, or you can make it as complicated. So I guess let's start with easy. What's the easiest? Okay, by the way, this is the opinions of Kasey and Melissa, not the opinions of all TPAs across the nation, because everybody does do it a little bit differently or maybe have different philosophies. So Kasey, for us, what's the easiest definition of compensation?
W-2 wages.
Why is that?
Because there's no adjustments needed. You pull the information straight from the W-2 and you know what the wages that you're calculating are.
And we are, all of us are accountants to an extent in what we're doing. We're accounting for retirement plans. The W-2 wages also allows us to tie out to a W-3.
Right.